Jake McNeese. A name that echoes through the annals of history, a name that carries the weight of bravery and rebellion, a name whispered in hushed tones in the army barracks, where stories of his daring exploits spread like wildfire. A legend forever remembered in the stories of World War II, his actions becoming the stuff of myth and legend among his comrades. Born in 1919, McNeese carried the bravery of his Choctaw ancestors and a lineage of warriors who fought with unyielding courage. He was a fighter at heart with a rebellious spirit as vast as the Oklahoma plains he called home. The wide-open spaces of Oklahoma shaped his free-spirited nature, instilling in him a sense of independence and resilience. Even as a young boy, McNeese did things his own way. He was known for his mischievous antics and his refusal to conform to the expectations of those around him. He followed his own path, just like the wild horses of his Native American heritage. These wild horses, symbols of freedom and untamed spirit, mirrored McNeese's own journey through life. The army tried to change him, to make him like every other soldier. They couldn't. His spirit was too strong, too wild to be tamed by military discipline. McNeese refused to be controlled. He stood apart, a defiant figure who challenged authority and refused to be molded into a standard soldier. He shaved his head into a mohawk, a symbol of his unyielding spirit. This act of rebellion was not just a statement, it was a declaration of his identity and his refusal to be subdued. His face, painted with lines of war paint, became a terrifying sight for his enemies and a sign of hope for his men. The war paint was more than just a tactic, it was a connection to his heritage, a reminder of the warriors who came before him. McNeese was a born leader, someone others instinctively followed. His charisma and natural leadership qualities drew people to him, making him a figure of inspiration and strength. He didn't demand respect, he earned it through his toughness, his determination, and his absolute loyalty to his men. His men respected him not because of his rank, but because of his unwavering commitment to them and his fearless approach to every challenge. They were the toughest, roughest group the army had ever seen, the Filthy 13. Known for their rebellious nature and unorthodox methods, they were a force to be reckoned with. These men were not just soldiers, they were warriors who thrived in chaos and lived for the thrill of battle. This ragtag bunch of paratroopers from the 101st Airborne Division certainly lived up to their name. They were infamous for their wild antics and fearless demeanor, often causing as much trouble off the battlefield as they did on it. Their reputation preceded them, striking both fear and admiration in the hearts of their comrades and enemies alike. Their uniforms, rarely washed, clung to their lean bodies. The dirt and grime were badges of honor, symbols of their relentless spirit and refusal to conform to military norms. Each stain told a story of survival, of battles fought and won, of nights spent in the trenches. Their faces, like McNeese's, were often decorated with war paint, a fearsome sight for any unsuspecting German soldier. The paint was more than just a tactic to intimidate. It was a ritual that bonded them, a mark of their unity and shared purpose. It was a declaration of their readiness to face whatever came their way. They were McNeese's boys, each one personally chosen for their grit, their determination, and their complete disregard for authority. McNeese, their fearless leader, saw potential where others saw troublemakers. He molded them into a cohesive unit, a brotherhood that thrived on their shared defiance and unbreakable bond. They were a constant headache for their sergeants, always pushing the boundaries of military discipline. Their antics were legendary, from sneaking out of camp to pulling pranks on their superiors. Yet, despite their rebellious nature, they were highly effective soldiers, known for their bravery and skill in combat. But beneath their grime and tough exteriors were hearts of gold. They looked out for one another, forming bonds that went beyond the battlefield. Their camaraderie was their strength, a source of comfort and motivation in the darkest of times. They were brothers in arms, united by a shared purpose and an unwavering loyalty to one another. Their bond was forged in the fires of war, tested by the trials they faced together. They fought not just for victory, but for each other, knowing that their survival depended on their unity. They were the Filthy 13, and they were about to embark on a mission that would make them legends. This mission was not just another assignment, it was a chance to prove their mettle, to etch their names into the annals of history. They knew the risks, but they also knew the rewards. The honor, the glory, and the unbreakable bond that would forever tie them together. The mission was simple: destroy the bridge. It was a crucial supply route for the Germans, a massive obstacle made of concrete and steel that stood in the way of the Allied advance. Destroying it would cripple the enemy, paving the way for the liberation of France. But this was no ordinary mission. The bridge was heavily defended, a fortress manned by experienced German troops. For the Filthy 13, it was a suicide mission, a journey into the depths of hell, but these men didn't understand fear. They were paratroopers, the first line of attack, trained to jump into the heart of danger and emerge victorious. They were ready to unleash chaos. June 5th, 1944, the night before D-Day. The air was thick with anticipation and anxiety as the Allied forces prepared for one of the most significant military operations in history. The air crackled with tension, the silence broken only by the drone of aircraft engines. These planes carried brave men who were about to change the course of the war. Inside a C-47 Skytrain aircraft, the Filthy 13 prepared to face their destiny. These men, known for their fierce fighting spirit and camaraderie, were ready to jump into the unknown. Each man checked his equipment. The familiar weight of weapons and explosives, a comfort in the face of the unknown. They knew that every piece of gear could mean the difference between life and death. The roar of the engines was deafening as the plane climbed into the night sky, carrying its precious cargo towards the French coastline. The men inside were silent, each lost in their thoughts, knowing that this mission could be their last. Below, the world was shrouded in darkness. The only light, the faint glow of the moon reflecting off the English Channel. The vast expanse of water seemed to stretch on forever, a silent witness to the unfolding drama. The fate of the free world rested on their shoulders. These men were not just soldiers, they were the embodiment of hope and courage, ready to fight for freedom and justice. The fate of the free world rested on their shoulders. As they prepared to jump, they knew that their actions would echo through history, a testament to their bravery and sacrifice. The jump was pure chaos. Anti-aircraft fire lit up the night sky, painting deadly streaks of light across the darkness. The C-47 shuddered as explosions rocked the air around them, tearing through metal and flesh. One by one, the paratroopers leaped into the abyss, their silhouettes swallowed by the night. McNasty, a true warrior unfazed by the mayhem, guided his men, his voice a beacon of calm amidst the storm. They landed scattered, some close to the intended drop zone, others miles off course. The French countryside, once peaceful, was now a battleground, a maze of hedgerows and shadows. The mission, already incredibly dangerous, had become a desperate fight for survival. They regrouped, their numbers reduced, but their spirits unbroken. The bridge, their target, loomed in the distance, a silent giant guarding the enemy's flank. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. The Germans, alerted to their presence, had sent more soldiers and weapons. The bridge was now an impenetrable fortress, bristling with machine guns and artillery. To attack would be suicide, a pointless waste of lives. McNasty, ever the practical one, made a decision. The mission had changed. Staying alive was paramount. The following days were a blur of gunfights, near misses, and acts of incredible bravery. The Filthy 13, outnumbered and outgunned, fought with the ferocity of wolves backed into a corner. They disrupted enemy supply lines, attacked patrols, and caused chaos wherever they went. Their reputation preceded them. The Germans, terrified by their appearance and fierceness, whispered stories of devils roaming the hedgerows. But for every victory there was a price to pay. Men fell, their sacrifices forever remembered by their comrades. The war raged on, and McNasty, the Choctaw Warrior, continued to lead, his spirit unbroken, his determination unwavering. He would fight on through the blood-soaked fields of Normandy, the treacherous hedgerows of France, and the frozen forests of Bastogne. He would escape death time and again, earning the nickname McNasty for his toughness and his ability to survive the unthinkable. And when the guns finally fell silent, when the smoke cleared from the battlefields, Jake McNasty returned home a hero. He carried with him the memories of fallen comrades, the scars of war, and the pride of a life lived on his own terms. The story of Jake McNasty and the Filthy 13 is a testament to the strength of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, courage and camaraderie can prevail. They were a generation forged in fire, tempered by sacrifice, and bound by an unbreakable bond of brotherhood. Their legacy lives on, not just in the history books, but in the hearts of those who value freedom, courage, and the unwavering spirit of those who dared to fight for a better